Hey guys, Rodney back at you with another mindset for wealth building. I think it's tip 50, 51. Let's start off like I always like to start off. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Children don't save for the parents, but the parents for the children. And house and wealth comes from the father. Let me leave you with this thought today is trust the process. Trust the process. On in yesterday's video, I said know what you want, and so once you know what you want, you must trust the process. Let me say that again. You must trust the process, and the process is the time between knowing what you want and having what you want. But in that process comes the uncertainties, the unfamiliar, the unknown, all that stuff like that. It is the UNs, the uns, and the knots that is part of the process. And the process is the journey. If you go back and listen to yesterday's video, you will see this actor's process, his journey to get to what his desire and goal was. And so we may know what we want, but getting there, the process is mostly unknown. And so we have to trust that if we know what we want, we will do the things necessary, which is part of the process in which we will obtain what we want. So you may find yourself, let me stop for a second and say this. By you listening to me right now is part of your process. It's part of your journey to get to where you want to go, to get your mind set or calibrated or focused enough to achieve what you want. And by me giving this video, it's part of my process in order for me to obtain the desires and goals that I have. So we have to be and do things from a perspective not knowing all the steps. You may know that you want a degree in something and you know you have to go to school, but that's not the end goal is to get a degree. The end goal is to take that degree and do something with it. And so as you go through the process of attaining what you want, school is part of it. Certain things you may know what you need to do or not to do, but for the majority of the journey, you don't know. It's the unknown, it's the uncertainties, it's I don't know how much time. It's all those things that the uns, the UNs give you in the not. I do not know. Uh, you know, I do not understand. I do not have. All those things that come along with the process. But as long as you believe in what you want and know what you want, then trust the process, trust the journey to get to where you want to go. And so your whole day, your outlook, your morning should start off something like this. Even whatever you're going to do for today, it should be part of the process or trying to get to obtain what you want, even if it's doing nothing today. Let's just say it's a lazy Friday and you decide, I don't want to do anything. I've been working all week on my process. I've been working on my mind. I've been reading. I've been doing all these things, and I just want to relax. But let that be part of the process. Don't let it just be a day that you don't do anything, but put it in your mind, I'm going to take the day off so I can rest my mind, so I can be ready to hit it tomorrow. So you're setting yourself up with anything and everything you do is part of the process of obtaining what you want. It's just not taking a day off. Just take for another example, if you were working out to try to reach a goal, and you took one day off, and you say, not just taking a day off from lifting, but you say, I'm going to take this day off so I can recover, so that I can hit it the next day. So you're already setting your mindset up. Even though you're resting for a reason, and you're preparing yourself for the next day, because the next day I need to get back on this journey on doing something. And when in this day I'm not doing anything, but I already prepared my mind for the next day. Don't waste any time. The process should always be part of your thought. The journey should be always a part of it. Each new day is a day closer to your desired goal, to obtain what you want. It's not a day, if you don't do anything, is not one day further. No, I am preparing myself so that I can come the next day and be better, to be greater. Greater how? Better how? Having a rested mind, coming into it fresh, a body that is rested and ready to hit the weights again. But I'm every day, my mind is focused on reaching my objective. And so we must trust the process. Wherever you find yourself, that's where you should be. Wherever that is, the uncertainties that you may have right now is developing you. It's the process, it's the journey preparing you for what you want. Remember, guys, when you want something, you have to grow into it. Unless someone left you something, and left you wealth, and then you didn't have to work for it. Someone just left you an inheritance. You don't have to work for that inheritance, but you have to work to maintain it. You must work to become a steward of that wealth, and that's where the work will begin for you. But the wealth was given to you in that inheritance. So when we say we leave an inheritance for our children's children, they have work to do. They have work to preserve that wealth. They have work to do to grow that wealth. They just don't sit there. And so everybody has to grow into something, and it is a process. It takes time. So if you want to be wealthy, and that's what we're talking about, is building wealth, then you must have the wealth mindset. And also with the wealth mindset, you must learn humility, because you don't want to be puffed up and proud and arrogant when you become wealthy and have this wealth, and then you look down on people. No, you wanted to be have that wealth to be the person that you are right now without it. And so if you are struggling now and you're humble because of where you are, you want to take that same humility when you become wealthy. If you want to help people when you don't have a lot of money or no money to help someone, when you become wealthy, you want to execute that thought of helping someone now that you're able. It's all a process, guys, and no matter how difficult your process is, just look at the video of yesterday. You probably the same way. I could tell you my story, and it'd be similar, because I resonated with that story, that I told on yesterday, and so many of you can connect to that story as well. So, guys, trust, and I say you must trust the process. If you know what you want and believe that you will achieve it, do it or die, then trust the process, trust the journey. Wherever you are is where you're supposed to be at this time. But it doesn't mean that you will be there all times, because now that you believe, now that you want to achieve, you will find yourself in different places, talking to different people, listening to different things, reading different books, listening to different books, positioning yourself. This is part of the journey, positioning yourself, growing yourself to the level in which you need to be to accomplish any goal or dream that you have a desire to have. Till next time, guys, take care.